ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the
Check this out, we got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, the #1 sports information program in America, the Breakfast Bankroll, with your host, the sports broker, Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week. Good friend and colleague, Mr. Matthew George, live in New York City. Go follow him at MG28 Sports, and of course on the Sports Grid Catches podcast with Coach James Young, WNBA, NBA. The X's and O's, I really in envy and awe of Coach James Young. He'll tell you where these kids played middle school and AAU ball, and I'm just the market guy, but love the podcast, love the show. So first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play, download the app. It is free. AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com, promo code SCHOOL. Get you a free box of chicken or chicken tenders, a value of about $70-$80 free with any order over $2.99. Head on over to AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com. Tell them JD from ECSI sent you. So without further ado, Mr. Matthew George. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeff. How are we doing?
We're doing great. It's August 7th. 3 NFL preseason games on the docket, of course, tonight. I'm actually following the first round of the golf playoffs, the FedEx St. Jude's. Our headliner for you today, and I think it's fitting, is it time to judge the Yankees in Boone? Aaron Judge back in the lineup. Stopped the bleeding yesterday, even though they got dicey in the bottom of the ninth again. It's been a week since we talked. Everyone wants to know, what's the temperature in the locker room in the Mecca?
It's been a pain in the neck, I could swear. I could tell you that much, Jeff, because the way that the Yankees are handling themselves is not great, and it's the way that they can't close out games is also a pain in the neck too, because not only that their offense has been lacking, and also since Judge is still dealing with his flexor strain, it's also the matter of fact of the pitching has not been great. Obviously, the way that Devin Williams has been playing has not been good. His acquisition has not been, his contributions has just been not up to par, and the pitching staff has just been all over the place. So it's been a mixed bag and nuts for the season of the Yankees. We'll see how they go again against them tonight, tomorrow night against the Astros. But I don't know where this team is going, and we are, us Yankee fans have been saying this for a long time. You need to get rid of Aaron Boone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't know why Brian Cashman decides to have him stay on the docket, on the helm as the manager for the Yankees. But it's just a matter of you need to change things. You need to change the way that the culture is for the Yankees, especially if we want to have Aaron Judge as your captain and keep going as your captain going throughout the rest of the franchise. I feel like, in my opinion, I think that Aaron Judge will be like Derek Jeter. He'll probably stay with that franchise as long as he can. It's just a matter of can the Yankees organization bring the pieces that he needs to actually win the World Series. And we're very close with Juan Soto when Juan Soto and that duo, and that was really good. And now everything is all over in the docket for the Yankees. So we'll see what happens going forward, but it's not looking good.
OTAs, training camp. How's your football team looking?
Well, the Green Bay Packers is looking very solid. I'm still I have the and there's a big expectations for the finally the wide receiver that everybody has been wanting for the past God knows how long for the Packers in Matthew Golden. So we'll see how that goes with that dynamic duo with him and also Jordan Love being at the helm. So we'll see how that goes towards the rest of the season. But hopefully good expectations for the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, with Jordan Love being there, they're slightly improving every single year. Now it's just a matter of putting the pieces together for this upcoming season.
I got to ask you this. Before my first two services that I worked for, late 80s, early 90s, there was no internet. There was no cell phones. It was 900 numbers every 10 minutes to get the update on the scores and stuff. But I had five sources that I used daily: the Boston Herald, the Globe, the New York Post, the New York Times, and the USA Today. And then on Fridays, I would use the National. My question, reason I said it that way, is who controls the back page currently on the New York Post? Is it the Giants or is it the Jets?
It's a good question to ask because it's a matter of how what is the bigger story, obviously per se, but it's a matter of like who can really step up in this upcoming season. The Giants is the biggest question mark is, can Russell Wilson be like how he used to be, not the guy in Pittsburgh. Can he dial it back up into is in his good years with Seattle, and the other one is on the other side with the Jets. It's all over the place with the, it's. I feel like, in my opinion, it's all over the place with the Jets. Now, you did sign Garrett Wilson to a max extension, but now is he really worth that money? It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time of how he could perform this season and going forward for the Jets. So I would see, and also you had to figure out if Justin Fields is going to be your starting quarterback because he also got injured in these during this training camp. So still dealing with that foot. We'll see how that goes, and I think that it's going to be a race for the top. But I mean, as we've seen throughout the recent years, both of these teams have just been under the radar because they've just been underperforming in these past couple of seasons. So it's just a matter of who can really step up. Can Malik Neighbors can step up as well for the Giants? Is also another thing because that Russell Wilson can definitely dial up the ball, and I think that he and Malik Neighbors can definitely do that. They're still having a issue with the run game. The same thing goes with the Giants. The same thing goes with the Jets. So they're in similar situations, but the way that they can mesh together, we'll see how it goes. I think the Jets have the better, and if you want my opinion, I think the Jets have the better, trajectory going forward because the defense obviously always is great. That's going to be the number one thing. But can their offense be the benefactor to actually win games this upcoming season? That's going to be the biggest question, obviously, for the Jets.
Yeah, because it's almost like I think part of the New York fandom for the Giants is they just want to replace OBJ with Malik Neighbors, insert in Malik Neighbors. Now, of course, you brought in Russell Wilson, you got Jameis Winston, you drafted Jack Hart, and then on the end, Justin Fields, you have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, you paid Garrett Wilson, new coach, great defense. So that's why I was figuring I'd ask you, and we'll be asking you every week, who's on the back page now? So just it will be fun to see moving forward. Some basketball news. Luka Doncic, De'Aaron Fox, Mikal Bridges, all get extensions.
And this is not surprising to to most people if you're following the basketball world. Obviously, Luka Doncic with that 3 year extension is going to be the big. We all know the understand why that this happened, and the Lakers' trajectory is that they're sticking with Luka Doncic for the foreseeable future, and they want to win now. So now the question is, where does LeBron James fit in this situation? Does he decide to stay with the Lakers and try to win the championship that way, or does he move on and try to go to another contending team? The way that the Lakers are trying to solidify themselves is that, we have this dynamic duo in the backcourt with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. They can very much well complement each other because they can do whatever on the floor. So now that this has been solidified, now with Luka Doncic with a 3 year extension, you're signing. You're basically saying that we have our cornerstone player with Luka Doncic, and that father time is us catching up with LeBron James, so we can make that quick transition and still contend for a title. So that's what the Lakers have been doing throughout their history. They've done that with Kobe Bryant, and they won championships. They've done that when they traded for Pau Gasol and won championships. They did the same. Now they're doing the same thing with Luka Doncic, and we'll see how the trajectory goes the rest of the season. Because the biggest thing, and we'll keep going with this as well, because we're going to talk about De'Aaron Fox, is the Western Conference is very stacked. We all know that every time we talk about this every single week. The Western Conference is it's a stack of the season, and I think this is going to be the biggest race to the NBA Finals and seeing who comes out on top. On to De'Aaron Fox. This is a very questionable one, I might say, because they did sign him for a 4 year, $229 million extension. Here's my question, and I want you to ask and want you to answer this, Jeff. Is De'Aaron Fox a top 10 point guard in the NBA right now?
I don't think he is. I'm not discrediting him. Some people will have him inside the top 10. Is he a top 20 in my eyes? Sure. I'll give you that. Maybe 10 to 15. Okay. But am I running to the window to put him in my top 10? I'm not.
No, exactly. And that's what I'm saying too. Because you're paying this guy a load of money, but he's not your cornerstone player. So where does that tie in? Do you want to give that really big? I mean, obviously Victor Wembanyama might get that rookie max extension if he continues the way he goes, because obviously he's going to be the next generation talent. So you're gonna now have De'Aaron Fox on this max extension, Dylan Harper, who you just drafted, who's going to also be in that rookie contract for 4 years. You're going to probably max extend Victor Wembanyama because he's over the trajectory that he's going. So they're basically saying that this is going to be their trio, and then along with Stephon Castle, you also have to. I didn't forget to mention that Stephon Castle, your rookie of the year, is also in that mix as well. So this team is very young. So they're trying to do the same. They're trying to do the same thing that the Spurs are doing, but it's a very questionable thing of like De'Aaron Fox. Really, you're giving all this money to him, who, has his moments, but is he really going to be the next? Is he going to be the game changer for the Spurs? I don't know. I think that Victor Wembanyama is going to take that more of the jump as well. But we'll see how that goes, because I think that De'Aaron Fox can make an impact on the team. I just don't think he's worth that money. Lastly, Mikal Bridges. We all know that this is understanding that how the New York fans understand this, because the 4 year, $150 million extension means that he could be traded towards the end of the trade deadline this upcoming season. So don't be surprised if he gets moved, because because they signed him so early. So could Giannis be on the? Because Coach was talking about this on the podcast as well. He could get moved, and then the trajectory of the Bucks is not looking great, could Giannis actually come to New York? That's going to be a very interesting situation because of the value that they put on Bridges, and they can solidify the way that everything is going with the way the Bucks are right now. So that's going to be very interesting going forward for the Knicks this upcoming season because they their time is now. They got to win. Their only probably leap is Cleveland. So they need to find themselves a way to compete for a title because the Eastern Conference is wide open, obviously, with no Celtics. I wouldn't say sorry, Jeff, but
No,
and
that's
also
fine.
Indiana and no Indiana this upcoming season. They're not going to be title contenders this upcoming season.
Well. Let's take it a step further. Is there a path for LeBron to the Knicks?
There could be, but it's just a matter of are they willing to pay a 41 year old LeBron James for one season and then try to fit that culture, that New York culture into the mix. LeBron, no, I mean, obviously, no. The fan base would just go nuts about it. We all know that because New York would just go crazy about any star player that comes to the team. So it's just a matter of can he mesh and I wouldn't say change the culture of the New York Knicks, but keep the culture going because of how the New York style is, and how they want to play the game of basketball. So it doesn't seem likely that they probably do that. They're going to keep this core of how and see how they progress so far with Mikal Bridges, Carl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart, and then see how the rest of the season goes because they really have good pieces. They brought in Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele. Those are great pieces to have on the bench, and then you still have the guys with Precious Achua and all these guys as well. So if this team can mesh together and win, 50 games, I wouldn't see why not. They could definitely be in the docket for solidifying themselves in the Eastern Conference. It's just a matter of how they do this season.
WNBA, Miss Collier sidelined 2 weeks with an ankle injury, and the Dallas Wings trade Miss Carrington to the Lynx for Diamond Miller, Carly Samuelson, and Minnesota's 2027 second round pick. And Mystics trade Brittany Sykes to the Storm for Alicia Clark and a first round 2026 pick.
This is very interesting for some of the trades that happened this past couple of weeks in this past week before the trade deadline. So, first off, obviously with Nafisha Collier, it does suck that the way that she went down, but that doesn't mean that this team is not good without her because they just beat Seattle in their last game. They're 25-5. They are the best team in my opinion, and for most people that Minnesota Lynx is the best team in the WNBA right now. And even without the Fisher Collier, they're still doing great. 91-87 win against Seattle Storm because Seattle has been decent, has been very well, is doing very well this season. But now with this addition of Dejana Carrington, she made a immediate impact in her first game off the bench for the Minnesota Lynx with 13 points, four rebounds, and 2 assists and 2 steals. So she's already making that immediate impact, which because she's already been a good player for the Dallas Wings, and now she's going to make that impact for a title contending team. So that was a great move by Minnesota because obviously we know that Dallas is not going anywhere. They're just try to solidify themselves for the draft next year. We'll see how that goes in terms of how they project themselves to get that number one overall pick or get in to that top five, top three. And then for Seattle, it's going to be a very interesting season going forward because the addition of Brittany Sykes is probably one of the biggest moves so far in the trade deadline. She is a star player. No matter what, this is I was very surprised about seeing this because Brittany Sykes and Alicia Gray were such a dynamic duo for the Mystics this season, but now it's seeming like they want to keep the rookie core of Sanaya Citron and Kiki Iriafen, and then they also had Alicia Gray, so they had to move one or the two pieces um, between Brittany Sykes and Alicia Gray. So you move one of the two, so that means that Brittany Sykes is going to be a very good focal point for the solidifying offense of the of the Seattle Storm. So going forward, we'll see how it goes, and it's going to be a very, very interesting second half of the WNBA season.
We have a 3 games on the docket today on the WNBA. Atlanta at Chicago. Currently, Atlanta minus 10.5 with a 160.5. Overnight 156.5. So a 4-point move there. Indiana at Phoenix. Overnight Phoenix minus 6 with a 170.5. Now Phoenix minus 3.5 with a 172.5. And Connecticut at LA. Overnight LA 11.5 with a 174.5. Down to 9.5 with this 174. Thoughts, props, parlays, in-game parlay. What do you got for us in the WNBA today, Matthew?
It's going to be all the star players for each of the teams because the all stars are just making impacts every single time, Jeff, as we know. So, for the Dream against the Sky, is we're going with Alicia Gray. Alicia Gray has been stellar. Obviously, she's going to take the focal point now on the is going to take the focal point for the Atlanta Dream going forward. So, she since Ryan Howard is still out for this team, she's still taking the scoring load for the Dream. So 20 plus points, we're going to take her. It's very interesting that she's at plus 122, even because she's on the hot streak right now, scoring 20 plus points. But we'll see how that goes against, because obviously the Sky is one of the worst teams in the league. On to the Sun and the Sparks, going Kelsey Plum with 20 plus points. I mean, obviously we know what she can do throughout the season. Not to mention that she's scored 20 plus points in 5 straight games. So she's been definitely stepping it up towards the second half of the season. Now that Cameron Brink is also back with the Sparks, she's definitely making the impact on both ends of the floor. So that leaves Kelsey Plum to just leave wide open shots that she's going to be able to knock down her mid ranges and her 3-pointers as well. And then obviously the biggest one in Alyssa Thomas. The Mercury have been a very big story. Obviously, with her addition as well, has been an immediate impact. She's gotten a double-double in 7 straight games, and not to mention the last 2 games, she's gotten a triple-double. So we'll take Alyssa Thomas minus 145 for to record a double-double as well. You can parlay all of these legs, and you can get this at a plus 5 to 1. I got this yesterday at plus 552. Obviously, the markets have been changing, so do check accordingly with those markets. But this is the best way to get the bang for your buck, because obviously the rest of the season, obviously with these players specifically, can make impacts for their respective teams. So we'll see how they go. Let's see how it goes for tonight. But it's definitely expect these 3 players to make an impact.
Well, as we always wrap up this segment here, Matthew, everyone knows on X to go follow you at MG28 Sports. You and I know each other, obviously, from the Sports Grid. But tell everyone your schedule on where and when they can catch you and Coach James Young and anything else that you may have.
Yep, Coach James Young and I have now changed the podcast to just once a week. So we record Wednesday and it gets released Thursday because the WNBA season is in full swing. So we'll basically be covering that, and then some of the futures markets and any news updates that come, like we just mentioned today with like Luka Doncic, Mikal Bridges, and De'Aaron Fox with the extensions. We'll be updating that every single week, every single Wednesday. That gets released on Thursday for you as well, once a week until like the end of September. And then upcoming for me on Sports Grid will be a podcast, college football podcast with Terry Bowden. If anybody knows him, he's a Hall of Fame head coach, formerly I think last week with the UL Monroe. And then Joe Lisi will be twice a week. We'll be recording Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday. and it'll be released Wednesday and Thursday. That'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. In the first episode for the new upcoming season for that, because we have done that last season. The new season will be coming up very soon in about a couple of weeks. So be tuned, stay tuned for that as well. Again, as Jeff mentioned, if you've missed any of today's props or anything today, do follow me at MG28 Sports. I'll post the picture and post the graphic that Jeff has posted up as well. So it's a very interesting way and everything goes tonight, and the rest of the season is obviously with the WNBA going as well.
Yes, we can't wait, of course. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Sean Alvarez will be back talking Del Mar, Saratoga, and whatever else is going and horsing around this weekend in the stables of horse racing. So everyone, weekend almost here. 3 games in the NFL preseason. Enjoy them. Just take it slow, guys. At least make it to opening week. Try to get to Halloween, maybe Thanksgiving. So don't push all in. Just because lines have flip-flopped from -1 to +6.5 doesn't mean you got to go run and chase the steam. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, one and only, Mr. Matthew George at MG28 Sports, we wish everyone a blessed day. Enjoy yourselves and stay tuned.